Musa Echweru's 19-year political ride as Member of Parliament for Amuria County might screech to a halt if he abides by the outcome of the July 17th National Resistance Movement primaries. Echweru was defeated, but is not having any of it.
Being defeated is not a bad thing, but an accepting defeat should also be statesmanlike. But it should be clean. If you see some of the things where children of 6 years were made to stand on the line, where children would run from school children, you line here, then you run to the next line.
He has declared interest in contesting on an independent ticket, for which he sought official clearance from the NRM.
Yeah, we have said we don't accept these results. That's why we have petitioned. So it is now the decision of our people here to tell us that yes, there is substantial evidence to the effect that I think the election was bungled. If that is bungled, now that we have a limited period, we may not consider going for a rerun. Then they will advise us, okay, go ahead and go as an independent. That will be the best news.
The Director of Information and Publicity at the National Resistance Movement, Emmanuel Dombo, admits that there is a window of allowing the party members to contest on an independent ticket.
Where independents come up because of internal problems, then that issue is totally resolved differently. Because you can see the Vice President, she's an independent. But because we had a very bad elections and she was unfairly treated, that's why she won.
Several incumbents, including Foreign Affairs Minister General Jeje Odongo, State Minister for Trade David Bahati, and the State Minister for Urban Development Persis Namuganza, have charged that the primaries were marred by irregularities and hinted as coming as independents in the absence of an immediate remedy.
And we are still doing some investigations. At an appropriate time, we shall be able to inform the people of Lower County, Western the country, on the way forward.
If the talk by the losers matters, then the next general elections could have an unmatched number of politicians contesting on independent tickets. There has been a constant increase in the number of politicians contesting on independent tickets since the first election in 2006 under the multi-party political system. The number of independents rose from 29 who were first voted to the 8th Parliament in 2006. In 2011, the number of independents shot up in the 9th Parliament to 43 and 66 by the 10th Parliament following the 2016 elections. Currently, in the 11th Parliament, there are 69 independent MPs, 43 of whom are NRM-leaning, the combined number higher than MPs from the National Unity Platform, the largest opposition party with 57 MPs. This has been the case in every election cycle, and the hands of the party appear tied to take action against those who defy the party position.
Can you stop the Constitution of Uganda? That right is derived from the Constitution of Uganda. You cannot force to stop them, but for every action, there are consequences.
In the run-up to last week's primaries, the National Resistance Movement mooted a plan for all candidates vying for the party ticket to sign a consent form committing themselves not to contest as independents if defeated. However, that did not materialize.
About the issue of deciding whether you will go independent or not, that's a matter of your choice with your God and your family. But once the people who have voted against you still live, they will even defeat you if you come forward.
Despite the derangement, majority independents remain NRM-leaning and often vote the lines of the party on controversial issues. In a statement posted on his X account this evening, President Museveni said, "What happens to the flag bearers who were fraudulently declared? Why doesn't Tango Doi change and announce the proper results? Remember that the voting was by lining up during the day and everybody saw the results. How does anybody change that other than making oneself a fool?" He added that the party lawyers have guided the Tango Doi-led Electoral Commission cannot be the one who corrects a mistake that he made, and that it is the tribunal that will deal with politics and the law guided by the same facts that guided ISO and CID in arresting the criminals and charging them. How the tribunal handles the grievances remains to be seen. And while the party's constitution does not address the issue of independent candidates, Dombo argued that independents impede the growth of multi-party politics.
If we build multipartyism in the country, what will be the role of somebody who is independent? This is a multi-party system. Parties are competing. Can an independent have a manifesto?
However, those in the opposition apportion the blame on the ruling regime for stifling the growth of political parties instead of those that vie for political positions on an independent ticket.
it can only be continuous growth. But you see, when you strive for it and then you say we are not ready. So now as political parties, we can't even go out there and mobilize people and talk to people with ease about our agenda without being disrupted and so on.
Despite a very high likelihood of an increase in NRM-leaning independents, it is also envisaged that there will be a significant number from the opposition parties. Jackson Onyango, NTV.